What's up guys, Darkdally here, and today I am at the third rail here in Goodneighbor. It's well, it's not a beautiful day, but we are here in Goodneighbor, and I've done some pretty cool stuff to the third rail. I've kind of been working here for an upcoming collaborative project between myself and the channels CommonwealthCourier and ScarecrowGaming, and the links to their channels will be in the description below. We're working on a project together, and I don't want to say too much about it, but what I've been doing is I've been building at the third rail for a movie set, you could say. So I'm kind of setting the scenes, and so I thought I would give you a sneak peek into some of the scenes you will see featured in the upcoming machinima feature, which will be brought to you by, of course, myself and the two aforementioned channels, CommonwealthCourier and ScarecrowGaming. So right now, one of our movie sets will be right here in the third rail, and so let me tell you before I go down here, the idea behind this was to update it. Now I didn't want to overhaul it. Anyone can overhaul it. Hell, I could just build my own bar. I wanted to update it as, let's say, what would the third rail look like 10 years from now? What kind of updates would it had? Like, let's say refugees had to flee for whatever reason to Goodneighbor. Let's say the population went up. Let's say that they had the ability to remodel a little bit. What might they have done? So let's go through the third rail here and let's look at some of the stuff I decided to do for this scene. So I've added a coat check area here. I got some fencing here. Actually, there's a lot of stuff. I can't go through every single thing. There's a lot of stuff we've done here. I've added a little coat check area. Gone through just enough detail for it to really work. This door doesn't go anywhere. It's just, I think it should be there, like if it were a closet, you know. I want to go through some of the changes that I've made to the third rail. Now, the mods I'm using are all linked in the description below, and I am on PC, but all the mods are linked below. Mainly what I used here was Place Everywhere, SOE, Homemaker, and Scrap Everything are mainly the mods that I've used here. I decided to go ahead and cut out this section of wall here so that if someone had to come through the entrance and go to the coat check, they could then still continue on into the bar. And so this goes down to the bar. There's still more stuff I've done here. First of all, I blocked this section off that was a tunnel that went nowhere. I blocked that off. I had this little bar sign here. This was actually really clever. I made this with just regular neon lights, and I made it with 4 hyphens and a V, and I just got a little creative and tilted them. Makes a cool little sign. We got this here, and this door you can't open. Actually, I made it so you can't open the door. Just completely block that off. Come down into the third rail, and then get the little sign there with the little sparkies sparking off the eye and the rail. I kind of got that inspiration from the sign up front that has the third rail, and the eye and third is, you know, all sparky. Kind of where the inspiration for that came from. So I've gone ahead and decided I wanted to keep this recognizable as the third rail, but yet I still also wanted it to be updated, more cinematic, something if you were to use for a movie scene, something that might stand out a little bit more, but it's still the third rail. There's no doubts about that. It's just been updated a little bit, I think, realistically. Now, all the patrons and NPCs have been removed, except for, well, Rufus is still here. He's still kicking it here. He's fine. He wasn't really in my way, but I've removed everyone else, including Whitechapel Charlie and Magnolia. They're all gone. Mostly what I've done is I've decided if there were more people living here, if Goodneighbor had become a bigger city, you know, there'd be more tables, more room for accommodations, a bigger, clearer space is kind of what we've strived for here. I've updated the bar, remodeled it, still in the still the same bar in the same position. It's just been remodeled a little bit, and with more seating. We've covered up some of the ugly cabinets. They have renovated, and they have new cabinets now. And they've renovated the stage. The stage was really bad, as was the floor. Actually, I've repaired the floor too. I've gone through, repaired the floor. So we'll just say that they've been hard at work repairing the floor, adding a real stage with that has a little better presentation. Now all this is done with I get the workshop here with a console command, but you could do the same thing on a PlayStation 4. Actually, you could put a workbench in. Really, nothing here is anything you couldn't do on a PS4, except for some of the weird object manipulations. So let's move on here. This is kind of the VIP area here. I know that says VIP. That back there is the stripper lounge where McCready was. We will get to that. This here is our kind of our VIP area. Probably some more to do here. I'm not saying this is totally done. It still needs to be populated with NPCs after all. So here's the little VIP area. There was some stuff here I couldn't scrap until I actually did get scrap everything. But until I got scrap everything, I couldn't scrap quite all of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff that was here, I've simply covered, which I think is actually good because it helps preserve the look of the third rail. Now right here there was some jersey barriers and a picket fence, and I've simply covered them with this barrier that leads into the VIP seating, and we are going to have some entertainment here of some kind. There needs to be something here. There needs to be a reason, right? You know, to sit in the VIP area, although it is very private. Some of the other stuff here I've covered is actually there was a pillar here, and I couldn't scrap it with my previous scrapping mod, which was spring cleaning. I couldn't scrap it, no problem. I put a table over it. I put a light from the pillar there. No one ever knows. There was a few other things here. You probably can't spot them though, that I've covered with things that I've built, and it all really worked. Oh, there's some more private seating over here. There's some little really private booths here. These little fences up. These fences, of course, were already here. Now let's go check out the stripper lounge because I felt it really needed this. And we got a little gate that goes in there. Little gate that goes into the stripper lounge. The curtains. And then here's our stripper lounge. Oh, McCready loves hanging out in the stripper lounge. McCready loves hanging out in here. And I've done quite a bit of work in here. Obviously, here I did decide to cover all the walls. These walls are from the USS Constitution. These are from the SOE pack. I used these walls to cover this area. There actually was some furniture in the back of the room I couldn't scrap with my, again, with the scrapping mod I was using at the time. And so I went ahead and walled that off and decided it would make a great stripper dressing room. So we have the curtain and we have the runway that comes out here with the stripper pole. This curtain is actually one of those tables you saw out there, just sized up 300%. I thought it would make a good curtain, so you can't actually go through it. But the only thing back there, really the rest of this room is actually only like another 3 feet, and it's just filled with furniture. So don't worry about that. The point is the presentation. This is going in a machinima video, and this is a very cinematic, cool little room here. So this is what I've done with this room. I've turned it into a total stripper lounge. Yeah, McCready's still kicking it here. I'm sure he's not too disappointed. And of course I have some pinups from a mod that I've got, and I will have the link to that as well as the others. I believe the name of this mod was Atom Bombs. I can't be sure, but it's in my load order link in the description. Alright, so back into here. Alright, so that's about it for my little tour of the third rail. It's not a really big place, but I've done a lot of stuff here, especially if you want to go through here, you know, go through it next time you're going through in your game and check it out and be like, oh wow, this is different, this is different. And I think this makes it feel more real to me. I'm not confident this won't reset, you know, at some random point if the cell decides to reset. But until then, I've got this video to remember this place by. It's very cool. It feels like a bar. And that was the whole intent. There's some more decoration that we need. I definitely want more bottles, more things like that. There's some more small busy work, but more importantly than that, I wanted to get a video out to you guys to show you, I mean, what have I been doing the last couple of days? Well, I've been collaborating on a project, and this right here is some of the fruit of the first part of it is this construction right here, and this is very cool stuff. So let me know what you think in the comments below of my remodeled future kind of version of the third rail in Goodneighbor, and what you might do different. It's really fun doing this kind of stuff. If you've ever built outside where you're supposed to build with the settlements, if you've ever built in one of the open world cells anywhere, be it outside or in an indoor area like this, let me know. It's pretty fun. It lets you get pretty creative, especially when you're trying to maintain the integrity of one of the, you know, main lore places of the game, maintain its integrity and yet still make it your own. Speaking of which, of course, I left ham. How could I move ham? I mean, alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this. It's been a real pleasure bringing this to you. My name is Darkdally, and I will catch you guys next time.